Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Morgan.
And we know better.
Welcome to episode 4.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
2 months.
Yeah, we've done doing this for 2 months. I guess it's like, well, we've only done it for 4 hours. Well, actually, There's a lot of behind the scenes that go into it, y'all.
And I edit for about an hour to 2 hours every time, so that doubles it, 8 hours. I'm doing at least a full work day.
And I'm doing all the clips.
Yes.
And so, just be aware of that.
In case you guys were curious how we allocated the jobs, to specifically tell you, I do all the editing, and Morgan does all the clips, but if you don't like them, then it's the other way around. Mm-hmm. If you don't like the editing, Morgan actually does the editing, I don't do anything.
Yeah. Well, that's okay, actually. You can write hate comments in my DMs about how much you hate the editing, and I will ignore you because I don't care. You make a podcast then. God damn it.
Yeah, well, no, don't actually, because most of our haters are men, and there's already enough men with podcasts. Men with podcast epidemic. The male loneliness epidemic. Let's talk about the men with podcasts epidemic. Actually,
it needs to be, I don't even want to say studied, because they don't deserve that much attention.
Yeah.
Don't give them any more attention than they need. Well, it needs to be ignored.
Well,
if you see a man with a podcast, ignore it.
Well, that's exactly how I felt when I was texting you today about, out of character, but the specific ones that Hamza does.
Yeah, Hamza's.
Sometimes, this is, like, not a hate at all, because I watch every single one, like, I'm a fucking fan. So this is not a hate comment in the least. Mm-hmm. But that man just be talking about nothing.
Yeah.
Like, he just goes on tangents, and I'm like, is he smoking crack? Like, and then he'll be like, I'm just thinking about, like, where I am in my life right now, and, like, I hope you are all, like, getting through it. And I'm like, what are we talking about?
Yeah. He literally is just stream of thought, and he just says it out loud. It's not like,
there's just no
Brittany
theme.
Broski does her podcast on her own, and it is kind of crazy and wild, but she at least, like, you could tell she's thinking about what she's gonna say before she says it, and, like, putting thought into it, and, like, this is what she's gonna talk about and what she wants to explore. But Hamza is just a stream of, like, he's just spitting out the words that come to his brain.
The last two,
admirable.
I listened to this most recent and the week before, because those were the two I hadn't listened to, and I was working in the lab today, and I was like, the difference between, because I started with this week's OOC with Martin and Hamza, and then I went to Hamza's, and I was like, what? We've lost all sense of a plot. Like,
can you believe that the podcast used to just be him too? And we don't say this much, thank God for Martin. I'm just kidding.
We don't say this much. It's really funny. He has been on some really freak shit lately. Like, I can't...
Freakier and freakier every video. Every TikTok video, I should say.
Yes.
His TikToks have gotten freakier!
Yeah. This is just a slushy fan reveal. Like, well, we're fans.
If you go... Wait, is it gonna... Okay, if I, like, stand up? I don't know how much I'm showing, but... Here are my slushy noobs
Show them the coochie, the slushy noobs on the coochie.
I'm not gonna bend over for this camera!
No! I meant on the front,
they can see it. They can see that. I thought you were talking... There's a slushy noobs right on the punani, too. And then there's the butt. It's them riding their bicycles.
Morgan ass reveal.
Well, like they didn't already have seen it, probably. Actually, you guys didn't end up seeing it in the TikTok from Brat.
Yeah, can you tell we're absolutely fucking wasted in the one where we're walking?
And so I didn't show my ass because I was really drunk.
I was
and forgot.
Slow as fuck. I look like I'm, like, meandering, and I have no idea where I am. But, like, it's funny. The TikTok works.
Yeah.
But I, like, rewatch it, and I'm like, I clearly have no sense of what's going on at all.
We filmed that right as her Uber was pulling up, too. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, and Brat was fucking fun as fuck.
It was so fun.
I suggest doing poppers right before the drop of Von Dutch. That was life-changing.
Mm-hmm. Also, just the Union rooftop was really fun. I've never been there for a night event before, only for, like, drag brunches, and it was a really cool vibe in there, so
yeah, they had us
in there again.
In the basement. They had us, and I was really skeptical when we first got there. We were like, oh, they oversold this event and it's gonna be shit.
Yeah,
but then you go down the basement and the vibe was so good, and the DJ was so good, and then we even got some fucking drag out of it, which was also so much fun.
Yeah, it really was a good time, so hopefully more of those in the summer. I didn't kiss 3 girls at Brat or at the chapel night that we went to 2 weekends ago, because we did one with our friends. Shout out friends. No kissing women.
Nope, I didn't either.
I've had no kissing women lately.
No, still no bitches. Back on Tinder. Tinder's actually only been showing...
What? How'd you get back on Tinder?
Sorry, no, I meant Hinge.
Oh, I was like...
Fuck, don't remind me! They banned me from Tinder, bro! They banned me from Tinder, I don't even remember why. I think I got in a fight with some man, I called him lame because he told me that he had a working out... That's what it was. He had a lifting Instagram, and he was like, I have it to inspire fat people to, like, get their life together, and I was like, it had, like, 50 followers, and I was like, who the hell are you fucking inspiring? 2, fat people don't really give a fuck that you can lift heavy weights, and 3, yeah, nobody actually gives a shit, and that's pretty lame of you, you're fucking lame. And then he got really mad at me, he was like, you are a miserable person, you need to open up your heart to love, and I was like, girl, what the hell are you talking about?
Get out of my face.
It was just pissed me off. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, that was, like, his, like, goals and, like, life aspirations was, like, to inspire fat people. I was like, girl, they don't want to hear that shit from you.
Fat people don't care about you.
It's like, it's like one of those things where he's clearly not doing it because he cares about people being fit. It was so that he can show off his body. Mm-hmm. And also, I don't know, it just felt so stupid. And also, like, I'm sorry, fatness is not something you need to cure.
Literally.
The fuck? And also, plenty of fat people are plenty fit. And then they're also fat. That's just the fucking body that they're in. Like, oh, that shit pissed me off. And then he went and reported me on Tinder. And then I got removed for fucking bullying. So rude. I have not been on Tinder in almost a year. It's really killing me. But no, my Hinge is what I meant. My Hinge is only showing me twinks right now. But, like, they're, like, alt. And, oh, my God, I want to eat them all up. It's really bad. It's really bad. See, okay, guys. See, I'm beating the lesbian allegations because there's plenty of twinks out there that I want to fuck.
Yeah, good for you. I'm still not back on the apps, so I'm just waiting for something to fall in my lap.
Fall in your hat.
Fall in my hat, too. I don't care. Literally fall anywhere, like, literally show up in my path, sorry. Like, just come to me.
What I see when you say that is, like, a top hat that you're, like, overturning.
Literally,
fall into my hat.
It's raining women, and it's me just holding out my hat, like, please spare some change, like,
no
literally
bitches.
Anything fall into my
Yeah, well, none of the twinks want me, so you're not missing out on much.
Yeah, I don't really, that's not usually my go-to anyways. Not my preferred,
Don't worry, more
type.
for me. More for me.
Go
more
for
for
it.
me, I say, as I haven't had sex with a man in multiple years.
Right.
It's just how it goes.
Yeah, that's our life. Lately, I've just been moving. I'm in the process of moving, and it sucks ass. I hate it. Moving is the worst thing, and you always forget about how bad it is until you have to do it again. It's literally, that's how people describe childbirth, that you, your body forgets how bad it is. And that's how I feel about moving. Very childless thing of me to say. But I hate it, and I know this week is going to be miserable, and I already want to die, so.
It's valid.
That's where I'm at, and that's why I'm also very pink in the face and red and hot.
Well, don't worry, I'm pink in the face and red and hot because I got fucking frat flu, even though I wasn't even we call it the Penn State flu, but it's just commonly known as frat flu in colleges throughout the world. Because my sister graduated college this weekend, told her to watch the pod. We actually talked about the pod a lot, Liv and Ange and I. They, like, love. And I was like, oh. Yeah, we were all talking about it. And then I was like, V, you need to watch the pod, my little sister. And she was like, I will eventually. Because her excuse was that she was student teaching, which understandable, but now she's not, so.
Yeah, that's so little sister core, because mine did the same. She was like, I was like, have you been watching the pod? She said, I watched the first episode.
It's just crazy because I think I go in depth talking about V. Marie, my sister, in every single episode. So I'm just airing her out, and I need this feedback from her. Like, what if she doesn't? Well, actually, I'm not gonna really give her the option if I want her to talk about me or not, because I'm gonna be talking about her. I just can't not. But anyway, I was up to Penn State. We both went to Penn State, so I'm an alum. For the weekend, and we went out Friday. Went to a ton of different bars, went a little crazy, and then Saturday my sister wanted to day drink, so we went to a bar called Doggies.
Okay.
And it's dog themed, but it also is giving sex, like that's what they're kind of going for.
That sounds terrible. Dog themed but giving sex.
Not sex with dog.
Hello?
No, okay. It's strictly dog themed. It's called Doggies. All their merch has dogs on it. They hang pictures of people's dogs all in it. But in my opinion, it's a college bar, and you're naming your college bar Doggies. Like, that just makes it's giving sex. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Anyway,
yes.
Doggies has an inside and an outside, which is not a typical for Penn State bar, but they have a huge porch area. So we day drank there. Me and Liv were, like, slamming ciders. And then we had to go to dinner with my parents, which was horrible. Not horrible, but, like, my stomach already felt like lead because I was drinking cider instead of, like, beer and stuff instead of, like, cocktails because we literally went to bed at 4 a.m. Oh, and Friday was also a horrible fucking mess with my mother. I won't even get into it on the pod on the off chance that she watches it, because I'm not trying to paint her in a bad light, and it wasn't necessarily her fault. So, Mom, if you're watching this, it wasn't really your fault. I'm not saying I'm mad at you. It was just the whole situation that was messy. Yeah. So we were up to, like, 5 in the morning. Get up at 11, down to Doggies by, like, 1. So I literally woke up, we ate some breakfast that Ange went downstairs to the, like, buffet at 7 a.m. that got so cold hash browns, me and Liv ate them, and then we went to the bar to go drink some more.
You could not see me doing that.
And then grad was at 9 a.m. the next morning. And then,
no.
Yeah, so woke up on...
It was on Sunday or Saturday?
Sunday.
Wow.
So then we drove back to Philly, where Liv lives, for me to fly home on Monday. Woke up Monday, throat already hurting. Woke up yesterday, actually on my deathbed. So if I look red and sweaty and gross, it's because my internal temperature is like 1,000,000 degrees right now.
Yeah. That sounds awful. I'm not jealous of you. I guess I was a little bit sick a couple weeks ago, but nothing compared to what your voice sounded like, so...
I also just don't get sick. I mean, it's a common cold what I have. But I don't get sick in a normal way. It always has to be...
Right.
If I have any type of cold, my body immediately overheats and I have a fever. It's just the nature of being on immunosuppressant drugs all the time. Mm-hmm. So.
Right. Yeah, so that's what's going on in our lives. We're kind of getting pushed down, knocked down, but we'll get up again.
Did you mean to do that?
I did, and it just... I don't know how I felt about it, but yeah, I did mean to do that.
That's hilarious, because I didn't register it until, like, a second after you did it, and I was like, wait, is she, like, making a reference?
Anyways.
Speaking of Pennsylvania, we've already touched on this man, previously, and actually, we were gonna post a clip talking about him from 2 episodes ago, and I had to tell Morgan, like, we can't put that on the gram because he will see it, because he stopped, but the thing is, after that episode posted, he stopped watching my social media for a while. He's pretty loyal, like, social media watcher, this man from college, so that's why it relates to, he's Penn State man, Penn State man, we'll call him. He pretty much stopped watching all my social media after, so I had a feeling he watched it and was mad. But then, out of the blue, on last Thursday, I get a text to my motherfucking phone. We have not talked in, 6 months? And before that, we hadn't talked in a fucking year. Mm-hmm. So, I went to his hometown last August, but not to visit him, to visit my friend, and I ended up seeing him. It was not a good time. Well, it wasn't a bad time, but it was not a good time.
It was not a good time.
It wasn't good for me. It wasn't good for my mental health. Because we hadn't talked to each other in over a year. So, like, fully planned on never talking to this man again. This man made me, like, my friends call it, like, the Penn State man psychosis, but just, like, take Penn State man and put in his actual name.
That's a good name for it.
You can tell that I still care about him just this, like, a little bit much, because I'm not name dropping him in the last episode. I was name dropping my ex-boyfriend Nick and telling him I hated him looking right in the camera. Yeah. Which he also saw. Nick also saw that, and I don't feel bad at all. Yeah, he texted me about my favorite anime and media of all time, being like, I rewatched season 1 of Attack on Titan. And I'm thinking about all, like, you're right, these characters were totally in love, and, like, you totally were thirsting after this guy, and it made me think of you, and I was like, Like, why do they always come back? I will never be free. Release me. Release me.
Literally.
Because I am not fucking strong enough for this bullshit right now. And Morgan immediately hit my line and was like, block him. I cannot. Like, I just can't. Like, I don't know why. I can't. Because I still am, like I said in two episodes ago, I want him to like me, but it sucks because I'm like, I'm gonna close the door, but I'm gonna leave it unlocked. It's almost like in the sense of, like, I always am gonna care about you, but then they still always come in the damn door!
They love to come back. They just love it. They must get off on it or get off on, like, the power of knowing that you're available. That's really the truth. And that's
so humiliating for me, because it's true, and that's the worst part.
It is, I'm not gonna lie, it is humiliating for you, and also I've been on the other side, so it's humiliating for me as well. But it should be humiliating for them. But the society don't want to talk about that. How we just let men do whatever they want. We need to shame them. Why do you think it's okay to message a woman that you haven't seen in that long, that things ended badly with, that you treated like shit, and be like, hey, what's up? Fuck you! You need shame! We need to shame men, like, literally, we need to have them, like, oh my god.
This is what I was on about last time! Let's publicly humiliate all the men!
Yeah, I guess maybe I've changed overnight. I've changed overnight and I'm pro humiliate men, but I just know someone needs to fucking humble them, because the confidence of a man, women would be so powerful if all of us collectively could harness the confidence of one man.
Or just the sheer audacity of it.
The confidence, the audacity, literally, ugly men thinking that they have a chance with the most gorgeous women, and sometimes they do!
And then they cheat on them?
How? Imagine
if women cheating on us? What the fuck?
Imagine if women had that much confidence. Imagine! Oh my god.
My boobs are sweating. I'm not wearing a bra. My boobs are sweating underneath.
Well, that's real and you should say it, because...
Sorry, I just felt it trickle and I had to say it out loud.
And if your boobs don't sweat... I don't know where I was going to go with that. There's nothing I really could say. Maybe you probably just have small tits and, like, that's okay.
Only a big fucking fat boob bitch knows what some fucking boob sweat feel like. Dripping down. When I used to be a professional swimmer or a competitive swimmer in high school, I would wear, it's, like, skin tight, and then we would set up the pool, and then I'd have 2, like, wet spots. I'd be like, there's just no way.
Right.
These fucking quadruple Ds wait for nobody! They got a fucking sweat glands of their own! Yeah. They're in 2 different fucking zip codes at all times!
Yeah, boob sweat is something I have only had to start dealing with when I hit my second puberty, because before that my boobs weren't that big. And they're not that big now, but they're big enough that I do deal with boob sweat, and it's kind of awful. But shout out to my mom, because she recommended a boob sweat like deodorant thing, or I don't even know what it is.
Yes, because my boobs chafed one time and it left like a hot red like ring of irritation around my like chest. Mm-hmm. I texted Morgan and our friend, and I was like, what the hell do I do? This hurts. Like, it hurts. And she was like, my mom says do this. And I bought it, and it worked. So, thank you.
Hey, shout out Marla. Everyone thank Marla in the chat. And if you need that, maybe we post a picture. If y'all need boob sweat recommendations, there you go.
Look right here. You know, also talking about the sheer audacity of men, do you know what just came to my mind? I was watching TikTok today, and it was the lyrics from this 1975 song. Completely irrelevant to the story, but they quote Donald Trump. From before he won the first election. Right. So what, 8 years?
No, it was 2016 that he won the first election.
12 years ago.
Wait.
4. No, and we just started this 4, so 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Sorry. Dumb moment.
2 girls, really good at math and history.
It's been a long day. His quote, I moved on her like a bitch, said that while he was running for the first election. And he won! And now he's won again? The audacity. That's what I'm talking about. The audacity that pissed me off. And I know that's an extreme example. Because Donald Trump is, like, the fucking, like, the king of all king of evil men. Yeah. But, like, the audacity. A woman would never say something like that. And 2, would never think that she could get away with something like that.
Yeah.
Because only men get away with some bullshit like that, which is the fucking problem. Because, yes, I do think it is the confidence, because only men have the confidence to, like, hit up a woman who they, like, you're right, like, they haven't spoken to in, like, months or years, whatever, and be like, fuck it. If I have a chance, I have a chance. If I don't, I don't. Like, I'm always too scared to do that. Yeah. Just for the chance of getting rejected. Right. But also, like, the sheer audacity for men to just know they're gonna get away with shit.
Yep. Especially when you're rich, and powerful like that. I think... Yeah, it is an extreme example, but I think it's like one of the best examples because you can do those things as a man and still become the top leader of our country. And I think that says a lot. Especially when women candidates for presidency have been crucified for way less, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just... frustrating. So I think that's what I'll be trying to do is harness that confidence of a man because why would I not? Also, this is something I've been thinking about. I've been getting really mad that I haven't been having sex because I'm wasting my best body years. And I'm mad about my previous years of when my body was looking good because I'm like, I wasted those on people that did not deserve it. Like, I'm getting pissed off. I need good sex.
So you're saying, like, Please. You need someone who's, like, really hot.
I need someone to appreciate this. No, it doesn't even... It's not even about someone else being really hot. Yes, true to that. But it needs to be good. I just need to be having good, affirming body sex so that I can, like, this does not go to waste. You know what I'm saying?
All right, men, lady. Well, I hope there's no men. Only Kevin's allowed. But, men, ladies in the comments, they, thems in the comments. Who's gonna have really good body affirming sex with Morgan? Hit us up. Hit the line. Morcoop 2020 on all social media.
Yep. I feel like if I harness some of that confidence a little bit more, obviously that sounded I was pretty confident already, which in some ways I am, some days
but
I'm
it's
not.
like when you get in that situation, like on the apps or something, I am never gonna come out the gate even if I see someone on the apps who I like clearly am only gonna want to have sex with, or even if that's just my intention, I can't go and, like, open with that line, like, oh, I'm trying to, like, or anything sexual. Yeah. I just can't, especially if it's a woman, because I would rather die than disrespect a woman. I always hit the stupid, say hi, like, 2 highs and then a smiley face. That's always my slide in. I don't know how to be suave with it or even direct.
I know, and I need to fix that mindset as well, because it's, like, it is coming from this, like, I want to respect women, like, I don't want to disrespect them. I respect women. But it's like...
They find that hot.
Yes, and like the way Chapel Roan says, she's like, call me hot, not pretty, but I'm so scared of calling women hot.
Yes.
Because I don't want to disrespect them. So it's like, oh, you're pretty, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous. But I'm like, really, no, you are fine, you are hot, I want to smash.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do that because I respect women. I need to stop. Respect. Yes, I need to stop.
No, but I think there's a way to do it respectfully. I think I think there's a line that, like, between where we are and where men are that is, like, the perfect, like, how to approach that you want to fuck a woman. Like, do you want to come on to a woman because you're trying to fuck? Like, and that's what I think the confidence you are seeking is, you know? I mean, unless you want to completely disrespect women like a man, and you know what? That's your own fucking business. That's your own business.
Only in the bedroom. Wink.
Damn!
Just kidding. I respect women in the bedroom too, trust. I'm very generous. You ain't gotta tell me.
Sorry, that one came out.
It's just in my nature. Anyways.
You're just gonna have to deal with the coughing on this episode, guys. I'm just dealing with it. You know what I've been thinking ever since you're talking about how you wanna, like, have good sex, and how we're just talking about now kind of like women. I always think about Megan Thee Stallion, Plan B, her line, he submerged in it like a baptism. Like, that's how I'm trying to be. That is what I am wanting these days. Like, yeah, I'm trying to be submerged in, like, I want to come out fucking, like, reborn, whatever the fuck. Actually, I want to die on the fucking cross and then come back like Jesus. That's what I'm thinking. I guess people do say your 20s are for bad sex, though, but I don't want it to be that way. That's why I don't have sex with men at all, because it's all bad.
Yeah.
Unless, if any twinks think they can change that, hit my line, a big fan of the twinks. I'm accepting it now. I used to be ashamed. I mean, I am ashamed of my ex. Nick was a twink, and I am ashamed. I am ashamed. Penn State boy, he toes that line a little bit. I don't know if he's necessarily a twink. I think he more just gives lesbian.
Nick does as well, though.
Yeah, he does. He does, but also he does look like a twig.
He does at some pictures, but other pictures I'm like, that's a woman.
Okay, fair.
Sorry, Nick. No, I'm not sorry, Nick. Fuck you!
Can we clip that? That? Fuck you!
You look like a woman!
I literally called him eyelashes all of middle school. I bullied him. Before we dated senior year of high school, I bullied him all of middle school because he had long ass eyelashes like a fucking beauty queen. And hey, no hate to that now, but like I literally would call him eyelashes and he would get upset with me. He'd be like, "You're being so mean to me." I like wrote about it in my in 8th grade. We wrote letters to our like senior year selves and we opened it, which was some crazy shit. I'm dating him and I'm reading it and I'm like, haha, do you know that fucking dumbass Nick who has the fucking eyelashes? We all call him eyelashes because he's dumb as hell. Like bullying him in my own letter to my future self, and I opened it and I was like, damn.
Ooh, crazy.
She didn't even know. She did not even know. And like he wasn't even a big, like we were not in the same friend group. It wasn't like I saw him every day. It was like more like a passive bullying thing. And it was like a crazy, like I like wrote about it in like a line randomly at the end after I talk about my current life. It felt like such a fate moment. Yeah. Which I know we don't talk about Nick in a crazy positive light, but like that was like as when I was currently dating him, I was like, how the fuck did I know? Like, how did I know that this was gonna happen? Yeah, true.
That is kind of crazy when you look back on it. That actually reminded me that in middle school we had to write dare letters, like promising not to do drugs. And mine won my grade, and I had to read it in front of the entire school.
What drugs did you promise not to do? Or just all of them?
I think you did all of them, like alcohol and shit.
Do you like list it?
I think it was an essay. And so I think I was like, okay. If y'all know me in middle school, you know I was a weird kid. I mean, I'm still kind of weird, but I was a weird kid, try hard in school, yes. And so part of that, I was really try hard with my writing, and I think that's why it won, but I think I even I was like focusing it around dance, and I was like, how are you gonna drink and do a pirouette? How are you gonna...
Girl, probably good as hell. Probably better than when you're sober.
True. In a way, but it was like shit like that. I don't know.
That's
I did
hilarious.
That's why I don't, unfortunately... Well, I do talk to some of my middle school, or my friends I grew up with. Some I don't anymore, unfortunately. But I hate hanging out with them sometimes because they bring up some of the stuff I did in middle school, and I'm like, please, I don't need to be reminded of all the crazy shit I've said. You guys have 2 good memories. Please stop. I get it.
Was there any drugs and stuff that you, like, not even in this letter, but like at that age, did you ever think like, I would never do this? This is horrible, that now you've done?
No, I don't think there was any, because I haven't done anything too crazy. And I think even while writing that letter, I knew I was going to be drinking one day. Maybe not underage. Well, no. I think I think that letter was just for show. It was what we had to do for school. I knew I would be drinking underage. I knew I'd probably try weed someday. And that's really all I've done, to be fair, so.
I used to swear to myself that I would never, ever, ever smoke a cigarette. Like, that was a shit I lived by because I had parents and I had my whole family on my mom's side at least did. From a young age, and I was like, that will never ever be me. Cut to junior year of high school, Brooke's like, hit this vape, and I am like, shit, alright, and then I had a vape with a fucking Iron Man sticker, you tap it, his heart glows, fucking, next thing you know, I'm ripping drunk darts, next thing you know, it's senior year of college, and I'm just ripping darts, period, all the fucking time. Yeah. And as you guys know, I still do be doing that sometimes now. I haven't actually, though, since Charlie, but that's like 2 weeks.
No, I never fell into the vape trap or got into cigarettes, but that's not really, like, literally, that's not on you. I think that is the nature of when we grew up. Yeah. Like, Juuls becoming a big thing and being easily attainable and getting people addicted. Like, I just was lucky enough to never fall into that, but I did, growing up, we had... My aunt she smoked cigarettes, but she taught us, like, oh, it was really bad, and my sisters will know, You smoke, you choke, you die, my friend. That's like the mantra we would repeat kind of often.
Funny.
So, nope. And I don't really smoke cigarettes besides hitting a drunk one every now and then, and I never really vape. It's so
unfortunate because vaping is like fucking, it rocks. Like, it is cool as hell. Not even like you look cool, but like it is.
You definitely don't look cool.
But like at the same time, I'm sorry, you did in high school. You fucking did.
Okay, in high school when jewels were a thing, that was.
Oh,
I don't know if I can support you there, babe. When they started getting bigger and clunkier, those were not cool. When they started being super fruity,
yeah, well, okay,
you were not cool. You had an addiction.
The caveat to that is, though, I think smoking cigarettes is so cool, and I'm sorry.
That I agree with,
anyone who's smoking a cig, you look hot as hell, and in my dream romantasy of myself, like I'm reading a fucking book on the porch with my black coffee and I'm smoking a cig, or I'm always just smoking a cig outside, and it's like, that is the fucking, it's hot as hell, and I'm sorry, when we were younger, jewels were cool as fuck, too, and vaping in itself is awesome. Like, and I know not visually. I know you look like a fucking loser if you do it now. I understand, but what I'm saying is like when you are vaping, it is awesome. Getting that head rush, fucking awesome. Having that fucking hand fixation. Maybe I love being at a social event and I can just be doing something, instead of just like standing there. Oh, but I don't like the taste of vaping. That's actually the worst part. Which is crazy because people be vaping on cotton candy fucking jerk-off bullshit. Like, I can't do that. It has to be no flavor because to me, what tastes the best is a cigarette. Which is why I'm struggling with a cigarette addiction, not a vaping addiction. Because it's easy for me to quit vaping because I find that shit tastes nasty. Mm-hmm. But I love the taste of smoke, which is horrible.
I hate the taste, and I don't like doing it, but for cigarettes, I have to admit they're cool. Like, even I am, like, daydreaming about the summer. I'm, like, tanning, but smoking a cigarette. Hot, cool, mysterious. I would never do it because I don't like them, but it's cool. But vaping, I don't feel the same way.
It doesn't help that so many celebrities just so nonchalantly smoke cigs. Like, Alex Kasani, the fucking supermodel, she smokes cigs. And fucking all of Five Sauce did. I think they still do. Maybe they vape now. But, like, it's so normal. And all the rock stars from our parents' age, or, like, when I was young, they're all smoking cigs. They're all ripping darts. And it's hot. It's like hot as fuck, and I'm like, ugh. But then I know what it feels like to actually be addicted to cigarettes, and it does not feel cool.
Right.
Like, the worst, I've been doing Pilates now for, like, 6 months. The worst I've ever felt was ripping darts before Pilates, or after Pilates. Like, it hurts. It feels horrible. And I can feel my body is super fucking weak.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how are all these celebrities doing it? Probably because they're doing every other drug under the sun, too.
Right.
But it's like I see them doing that, and in my head I'm like, that life rocks. They're not feeling any negative effects.
Right.
Only me, when I do it, I feel the negative effects.
Yeah. Don't smoke, kids.
This is a really convoluted don't smoke or vape ad.
Right. Sponsor us. What's that?
Say no.
Say no. Sponsor us.
Dream sponsor, say no.
No, dream sponsor, and we're saying it now, Balessa.
Yeah.
Hit me up, girl. I be sponsoring you and you don't even pay me. Because I be spreading the good word about you. Yeah. So hit me up.
Yeah, if Balessa sponsored us, like, I would be standing here and I would be I would be wearing clothes. But I'd be bending over. I would give you full demonstrations. I would give you ratings out of 10. I would tell you how much I'd be using it. Like, I would give you the full lay down on that. Mm-hmm. It would be great. Hire us. Oh, speaking of, you know how I bought those rose toys when we went out last weekend? Yeah, yes. I tried to cancel the order when I was still drunk because it was like $60 I spent. Yeah. It still came, still got charged, so I have your new rose in the car. I bought her a rose toy.
That sounds crazy. She bought multiple of our friends' rose toys. She was drunk when ordering it. That's too bad you couldn't cancel because I was like, girl, what are you doing?
I bought 3 total. Honestly, I don't have any regrets. It was more so just the fact that I can't be spending money like that these days, but,
I guess I got a free rose toy out of it, though. Hey!
Yeah, all that to say, your rose toy's in the car. I got it for you, babe.
Good, because mine is
dead. That's what you were saying, right?
It's not dead, but it doesn't work anymore, really. The one that we got when we went to Hot Topic, I think. Yeah. The off-brand one.
Spencer's.
Or it was Spencer's, yeah. My bad, sorry, Hot Topic. Yeah, it just, like, doesn't hold the charge in very low settings. Anyways, Sorry, guys, for those intimate details.
She'll be back in 2 weeks to give us the Amazon Rose review.
Is it better or what? I will tell.
It's black.
That reminds me that I'm gonna... I need to move all my sex toys before my parents come and help me. They're in a contained container right now, but that needs to be thoroughly moved away before they come over.
Okay, wait. Oh, you need to tell... Okay, because I can talk... I'll do it after. I have a story about me moving in sex toys.
Oh, you want to say my dildo story?
You need to say your dildo story.
I thought you were going to talk about when you're moving and you
I'll do that after.
Okay.
I'll do that after. I have a dildo moving story, parents finding it, but she has an even better story that's sort of related about dildos and maintenance
men. Yeah, this is really putting myself out there, but welcome to we're being real on the pod today, if you can't tell. So I cleaned my dildo as every responsible sex toy owner does. Hi, Mom. And I was just letting it dry, so I just that thing on the counter because who gives a fuck? Like, I live alone, and so I'm just letting it dry before I go put it in my drawer as a normal person does. Separate issue, my plumbing was, in my shower drain, was plugged up. And so I was like, well, I need a maintenance man to come over and fix this for me. I don't remember if I scheduled it. I think you could, like, list the array of times, and he just called me, and he's like, I'm coming over. I'm like, okay, that's fine. As I let him in, I'm like, shit, I left the dildo on the counter, and he's about to come into this bathroom. I'm like, as soon as I let him in, I run into my bathroom, because I remember this, and I throw it under the sink, in the cupboards that are under the sink. Okay, fine. He needs to work on the shower. So I'm at home working this day, and I'm just, whatever. He's, doing, whatever he needs to do there. And then, I can't remember exactly the order that it happened in, but, basically, he has to check out the sink plumbing, too, because he hasn't figured out his problem under there. Guess what? He opens the cover, what's straight in there, staring at him? My dildo. So he, like, you could tell he's very embarrassed, comes and he's like, can you clean out under the sink for me? And I'm like, yes, I will go do that. And I basically, like, from there, I threw it in, like, an under the shower, like, organizer I had, and just, he already fucking seen it at that point. I just moved it off to the side, and was like, have at it.
Just a mental image of you grabbing the dildo. Did you move anything else, or did you just grab the dildo right out?
I literally pried the dildo off, and, like, I literally chucked it in there. I don't even know where it went in there. Because if I maybe had more time, I would have hidden it in there maybe a bit better. Not that it would have mattered because he went under there. I chucked it in there. I was like, there's not a long walk from the entryway to me, so I ran and, like, had to go do it quick. Yeah, it was a panic movement because I also couldn't bring it with me because I had to pass him to get into my room. So he would have seen it regardless. So, yeah, that was embarrassing. I think more embarrassing from him than me at the end of the day. I'm like, whatever, right. I guess. But, yeah, that was pretty embarrassing.
I can't wait for this episode title to have the word dildos in it.
I don't know if we can. I guess we did boner last week. I don't know. Dildo, is that better or worse than boner for, I'll be looking up some YouTube allowances later. Yeah. Because, okay, here's my dildo story. Mm-hmm. I moved to this apartment last year. And so similar situation that Morgan's in right now. And my dad and Ange came up to move me. And I had to go in to a last-minute presentation with my fucking work husband the Friday that I was supposed to move when I had initially no plans to be in on that Friday. Mm-hmm. So I have a fucking 10-inch 8 or 10-inch dildo. The big one that I was talking about last time for the Dildo X Rose collab. Big dildo. And I, for some reason, when I was packing, put it in one of my giant bags of clothes. Like, just shoved it in there because I was like, what's the likelihood my dad's gonna be looking through the clothes, right? Mm-hmm. So they're all moving my shit while I'm at work, and then I remember, and then my Ange texts me and says, hey, like, because Ange knows that I like my stuff in a specific place, so I didn't want her to start unpacking, like, any of my books, any of my knickknacks or posters or anything, or I was gonna freak the hell out. Right. But what she did know
was that her and my dad could put away my clothes because they know that I put all my work clothes in the closet and my jackets in the closet. Whatever. They know how I put my clothes.
Yeah.
So she texted me. She's like, okay, girl, we're going to let you unpack anything else when you get here, but for now, we're going to do your clothes. And I'm like, that's all fine and good. So I'm doing the presentation. I'm standing there with my work husband, and I'm like, oh, my God. I can't. No, there's something in there. So then I open my phone. I run out the room. I'm like, Zach, I tell my coworker, I need to go. I go to the bathroom, open up my phone, and I text Ange, and I say, you can't put away any of the clothes, and if you do, you have to go look through every single one of those bags right now and find an 8-inch, or find my big dildo. And she said, how many inches? I said, girl, why the fuck that matter right now? She said, what, it was a 6?
There's only one, girl!
She said, was it the 6 or the 10? Girl, what the hell does it matter? There's a dildo in my fucking bag, and my dad's gonna see it! And this, he didn't see it, I don't think. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
It wasn't put away when I got there, so... But, I've left the rose on my bedside table so many times when my dad's been, in that room, like, putting in and out, and he just moves it. He just puts it somewhere else.
It's so awful.
Yeah, because I don't know. I leave the rose on my bedside table. I live alone.
Yeah.
And I have no bitches. No, I mean, even if I had bitches, I guess I would.
I would have that shit. If I had bitches, that shit would be out in, like, as a display. What do you want to pick from? Pick your choice.
Rose. Fucking.
Rose, bad rose, dildo, wand, rabbit. What you want?
We need to get on the strap.
Yeah. Strap recommendations in the comments?
Wares you like? Anything cool about it? We need to know. Group trip to buy straps soon. When we get bitches, which will TBD. Is that like a summer goal? Should our summer goal be buy straps and get bitches? One or the other?
I kind of want it to be the... I feel like I
need
to get bitches.
Then buy strap.
Yeah. I need a bitch to strap.
I feel like I want to buy a strap even if I don't have bitches right now, just to, like, almost manifest it.
That's real.
And also just, like, always have it on deck.
That's smart. I just don't know I just have trouble committing to things financially wise if I know I might not use it.
I'm hoping one day.
But you're right. It's a good manifestation tool. You're like,
oh my God.
If I buy it, it'll happen.
Yeah. Maybe I'll buy it and I'm not going to tell you, and then I'll just send you a snap, like, you know how men, like, holding their dick? Like,
with it on.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of iconic.
Like,
I thought you were about to say...
Over my boxers. I'm not sending you full cooch, but, duh. I won't say anything. I'll just send you a snap of me holding my fake dick. Like, yeah. Men take their fucking
and I'll be
nudes.
Like, yeah!
Yeah. Don't worry, guys. If I ever buy a strap, I'll let y'all know in the comments. Not in the comments. I'll let you know my full review. If you want me to also put it in the Here, I'll compromise, because I won't go back on what I said. I'll give a full review in a future episode if I ever use my strap and / buy it to give the full review. And then I'll also come back to this episode and I'll put it in the comments for no good reason.
Yeah. And just in case there's anyone that randomly stumbles upon this podcast specifically and doesn't watch any of the future ones and they want to know.
Yeah, right.
The people need to be informed.
Yes. Right. Everyone wants to know my strap game, I'm sure.
Well, yeah.
Even the twinks. God, that's a dream. I want to peg a man. Oh my gosh, actually, I tweeted on Easter, my Easter thoughts need to peg man ASAP.
And he has risen.
He would be right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, right. How do you guys feel about that? I don't know.
If you want me to peg you, comment down below. Hit my line, elizabethrosepenabrown on Insta.
Yeah, we don't even need to do our shout-outs. We already put them in the middle of the episode.
Right. If you're going to give good body-affirming sex to more Cooper 2020, getting bent over and pegged, specifically if you're a twink, to Elizabeth Rose Penabrown. See, there's 2 options here.
Yeah.
2 DMs to hit up.
Pick your choices.
Pick your poison.
There's only 2 types of people.
2 genders.
Two genders.
Getting pegged, being a twink and getting pegged, or giving Morgan
body-affirming sex.
Body-affirming sex or getting pegged, the 2 genders.
Pick yours in the comment.
Wait, are ours chosen for us? Because are we the 2 genders? Or what would you choose of those?
I'm not getting pegged. I get strapped, but not pegged. So I guess I'm body-affirming sex.
I stand by my pegging a twink sex.
Yeah. Should we get into our other stuff?
Yes.
Recommendations and stuff?
Let's do unsolicited advice. And we actually have an advice form that you guys can fill out. I'll link it in the episode, but it's also linked in all of our social media as of now. So it's always open, always going to be there. But we're finally taking advice from y'all.
Yeah, so it technically is solicited, I guess, but maybe our opinions won't be.
Unsolicited advice because you guys can't ask what you're looking for, you know? Like,
yeah.
We're just going to tell you what we think.
Yeah.
You guys can't say anything about it.
Right.
I'm sure it doesn't work, but I don't care because the Reddit shit wasn't working for us.
We want more audience participation, so
just pretend
we don't
it works.
Care.
It's an oxymoron.
It's a fun segment name. Stop.
Right.
Don't attack us, please.
Exactly.
God. Do you want to go first? Otherwise, I can.
You go first.
All right. So I'm doing. 2 people responded. By the way, your questions are anonymous, so don't worry about. We don't even know who you are, so freely say whatever shit you want to say.
Or just lie. You can make up a fake scenario and we'll still give advice on it.
Mm-hmm. If you think other people need to hear it, maybe it's not advice for you. It's other advice you think other people need to hear. Yeah.
Don't ask us advice though that you know is what advice we need to hear.
Yeah, don't do advice that you think we need to hear, please. No,
because we'll give opinions that we're not following in our life, and then you'll call us out about it.
And we'll say, I never said that. So yeah, 2 people asked, basically, do you tell your boyfriend your body count?
I think body count is such a stupid, it's rooted in misogyny, because it doesn't matter how many men how many men or women a man fucks. Right. He's still a baller the more he has sex. Women are a whore, or they're used the more they have sex. Why is it not the same? So it sucks because men do think that way though. Like, you know, men care what your body count is, and if it's too high then it's a problem. So my advice, like, don't fucking, if you feel comfortable and he just wants to know, sure, I'm sure not every single man is evil. But if your evil boyfriend is asking you that, tell him to shut the fuck up. Because he has no right to know that unless you're comfortable telling him. And also, the question itself is rooted in this idea that the more women have sex, the less they're worth or the dirtier they are. And I don't subscribe to that idea, and you should not either. I mean, the bottom line is, if you're comfortable, just, you know, that's something you just share the truth of. But picking a number and all that bullshit, if that's where you feel you're at, then don't fucking answer the question at all, because it's a question being asked to make you feel bad for being a woman.
Yeah, basically. I agree with all that. It boils down to, why do you feel the need to share it? Is it your boyfriend asking, and then it's the question of, why is he asking? Because what does it really affect? What does it change? I would assume maybe if he's your boyfriend, he's probably already had sex with you. So what does it change? What is his purpose in asking that, if not just to judge you based on that? And so either say, literally fuck him, because why would that matter? Or if you feel like it, then just fucking lie. It's a made up fucking thing to be judged upon, so lie about it. And if he's not asking you and you just feel compelled to tell, because I get that, I've been there as well, you should be more asking on an inner self of why you feel so compelled to share that and why you think it's important. Probably rooted in your own self-misogyny. Like, you're saying that you feel that number somehow defines you when it really doesn't. So that's my advice on that. It doesn't matter. Tell him whatever number you want. If you want to be honest, and, you know, maybe that'll show his true character if it's not a response that you like, and then you can kind of maybe end things there before they get a little too serious. So
yeah, I think there's a difference between a man asking you your body count and asking about your sexual history or just your romantic history in general, because I do think that when you get in a relationship with anyone, man or not, it's going to come up, and you probably want to talk about it, the people you've been with in the past, sexual history, things like that. Well, in a healthy relationship, you should know this about, you know?
I don't know. I don't ever want to talk about my exes or anything that's ever happened to me.
That is a you thing, though.
I think it is.
It's healthy to reflect on the things that have happened to you in the past in a relationship. If not, that is
I don't want to think about
an issue
again.
that you need to address on your own time, I think. But I'm just saying there's a difference between being asked about your sexual history and being asked a body count, because I think the body count is so specifically rooted in that misogynistic idea.
Because, if he wanted to know about your sexual history or your past partners, just, like, he would ask that. He wouldn't ask your body count.
I'm just saying, not to shame on that aspect of it, but I do think specifically asking for a body count is very misogynistic. And even if you want to just lie or whatever, be aware that this man does not respect you, or at least, even if he thinks he does, this idea that he felt the need to ask is misogynistic of him, and that's a red flag. Yeah. That's just a red flag.
I agree.
Alright, here's mine. If my best friend never answers my texts or calls, what should I do? And if you ask this to me, I read it. I chose this one because I read it a few days ago, and I'm like really paranoid that someone I actually know, like one of my close friends, put that because I'm not answering their texts or calls. So before we even give the advice, if it's me who's not answering your texts and calls, give me some grace. I'm actually really good at texting though, so if I'm not answering you, maybe just call me out on it. Like, don't be afraid to just be like, hey bitch, what's going on? Before we give this good advice that I'm me myself in this situation.
I think that advice you just gave is advice that I would give.
True. I'm just saying, don't hold me specifically to this advice that we're about to give. If it's me you're specifically asking about, let's hash that out, and I'll fix my ways. Maybe. But the actual advice you can start off with.
I think I guess it's kind of hard to communicate with them when they're not responding, but I think that's what it's about. Hopefully you can try and get them in person, or maybe they can respond once in a while. But I think it is like calling them out in a way to say, hey, I really feel disconnected from you because you're not answering my calls, you're not answering my texts. Maybe you don't phrase it like that, but, make sure you state how it makes you feel when they're not responding, and ask them, like, maybe what's going on. Maybe, like you're saying, they have a lot going on in their life right now, and they just are feeling pressured, and so, well, hey, that's, something that at least it's not about you. It's more about what they're going through, and maybe you can figure out a way to work around that. Maybe it's more, if you are close to them, it's more about seeing them in person, or maybe you can try and, like, schedule times to talk to each other. I know that's weird. But I'm a very pro-schedule person. If you could be like, hey, I'm going to call you on Thursday evenings and we can catch up, I'm all for that, in my opinion.
Yeah. I would also say don't be afraid to be blunt. Mm-hmm. Or not even blunt, but just, I think that all of my biggest issues in friendship come from the fact that I am not either I'm the one who's not communicating, or the other person isn't communicating directly what is upsetting them. So if I had a friend who wasn't reaching out to my texts or calls, I would want to text them and be like, hey, you are not answering my texts or calls, what's going on? Or are you upset at me? Or I shy away from the phrase that are you upset at me, because I feel like that opens the door for the other person to just, like, yell at you or bag on you, which I've experienced in the past, because I am quite a confrontational person. But I think as I get older, I'm becoming more nuanced with it, and also trying to read the situation when it calls for that bluntness, or when it calls to, if I'm this blunt, I'm just going to be starting a fire for no reason.
Right.
But I didn't used to be like that. I would text people and be like, I can tell you're mad at me. Why are you mad at me? Or I feel like you're mad at me, but I don't actually think they're mad at me. I just think something's up, and then they fire back at me, and it's horrible. But just don't be afraid to ask outright, because at the end of the day, a lot of female friendships, a lot of it's dancing in circles and people pleasing.
Yeah.
And some people just, I can't read it well, or I read it wrong a lot of the times, so I am best communicating when it's direct. So, especially in the situation where they're not answering your text or call, just a text or a call, texting them being like, hey, like, I've noticed that you aren't texting or calling. Is there a reason?
Yeah. I think it's important to frame it in how it's affecting you and how it's making you feel, so they know that how it's affecting you, because it can hurt. I pride myself on being decently responsive, and so I can get from that side of someone not responding to you when you're wanting it. I don't necessarily always feel that way with my friends, but definitely in romantic relationships, I've struggled with that a lot in the past. So if it really, is bothering you to say, I feel unheard or unseen, or I worry about you, and when I can't see you, like, this is how it makes me feel, I want to fix this, or, something like that. I think it's important so that they can know how it's kind of affecting you, because sometimes we just, especially when you're in a mode of, like, I can't respond to anyone right now, it's so personal that you forget that there is other people that might be feeling effects from it.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. All right, so
second segment. Let's do must
must recommends. I'll go first. Mine is Fleabag. If y'all have never seen Fleabag, get horror on your grind now. Amazon Prime show. 6 episodes, 2 seasons, 30 minutes long each. Literally watchable in a single day. It's so good. Every woman needs to watch it, I believe. Especially women who are a little perverted, who have made mistakes before in their lives when it comes to friendships and relationships. Women with sisters. Women who feel like sometimes they're a bad feminist. It's really just a great show. I feel like a lot of people know this and have watched it already.
It's very emotional.
Yeah. It's you need to be in a good headspace while watching it for sure, but when you are in that space, watch it. It's also about, it's just centered around love in all forms of life, not just romantic, even though that is part of it. And the edits are great.
The edits are great. I've seen edits that literally make me want to, like, choke myself and rip my eyes out, not because they're bad, because they're so good, and the content of what the show explores just hits you on such a deep and profound level.
Yeah. Specifically, if you watch, look up the Party For You edit of Fleabag and the Guilty Pleasure edit of Fleabag. Guilty Pleasure by Chappell Roan was made for Fleabag. You will never be able to listen to the song the same again.
Yeah.
Anyways.
That's very true.
Yeah,
it also brings up How Hot Is a Priest. I won't spoil anything about the show, but it does explore that question.
Right.
My must recommend is another song, and I fear that I'm going to be trapped in this song thing for a while. But my song that I am must recommending is Accidentally in Love from the Shrek 2 soundtrack. I don't
remember. Sing it for me, I don't remember it.
You say, what's the problem, baby? What's the problem? I don't know. Well, baby, I'm in love.
Okay,
I think about it every time I think about it. I recommend it. I tuned it at the bar all weekend this weekend.
Real.
I was so annoying, but it's so good. Everyone, like, worships Shrek 2. It's, like, known culturally, especially for our generation. I don't remember it literally whatsoever. I do remember the, like, I'm a Believers from that Shrek, All-Star, like, all memeable songs. Yeah. Somehow Accidentally in Love slipped my fucking radar, and now it's back again. I discovered it through a fanfiction yes, it was a Marauders fanfiction. Stop! Okay! It's consuming my life. I know. But I cannot stop listening to it. I kind of want, like, I literally told Liv, like, I wish I could, like, I was, like, in love or, like, getting married, because I could see myself doing a choreographed dance with my partner at my wedding to this song. I think it's so cute, and it's such a feel-good song.
Shrek 2 has a lot of bangers. Let's not forget Miss Godmother's song at the end of the movie.
See, I don't remember any of that. I know she sings...
what is it called? Wait,
was it I Will Survive, or one of those types?
Hero.
Oh, Holding Out for a Hero.
Holding Out for a Hero. God, I don't know why that slipped my mind. Better than the original. Sorry.
The best of that song is the Glee version, but I won't hark on that anymore.
You might need to rewatch the movie and rewatch Miss Thing's
Well, like I said, I don't remember it as a single bit of the plot.
We should just... Maybe when the last one comes out, we should just have a day where we watch all the Shock movies. The more recent ones kind of suck, but 1 and 2 are great.
Okay.
3 and 4 suck.
I know the general premise of the first movie.
Yeah.
But
it's good shit.
I was actually told recently that if I were to be any character, I would be the dragon from Shrek.
Who said that to you? She doesn't have any lines. She doesn't speak.
And I was like, damn, does that mean I'm gonna marry a twink-ass donkey? Like, what?
I would not describe donkey as twink.
Sorry, I just meant like a very tiny, small animal in comparison to how giant I am.
You're like gorgeous, baddie, like...
And then this weird donkey that is
woman,
like,
and then it's
like the size of my foot.
Ugly, funny man. Yeah. That's what they're pinning
Don't
you
curse
as.
me with that.
Right.
Um...
Actually, we'll get into that to a different time about funny people, but or funny men specifically. But anyways,
funny men hard to find.
Yeah, I think that's gonna do it for our podcast today.
Yes, this is our very unplugged in the sense of no makeup. I just got out the shower. Wearing whatever the fuck. Nose is dripping. Temperature's high.
Yep.
But we had to film the pod, so I hope you all enjoyed.
We did it for you guys. Because never say that we're not dedicated for y'all, okay?
Yep, we could have missed a week, but we said no. Find us on our socials, by the way. If you are on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. If you're on Spotify, make sure to follow the pod and rate us. If you're finding us on Instagram, we are We Know Better Pod. On TikTok, we are We Know Better Pod with 2 Ds. Morgan's socials for Insta and TikTok are More Cooper 2020. Mine on Insta, I'm elizabethrosepenabrown, and on TikTok, I'm edgyliz8, or just edgyliz.
I don't remember. I think it might be 8.
edgyliz8, sure. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Find her in the We Know Better Pod with 2 Ds TikTok comments, and you'll find her.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's it for us.
We'll re-wrap it up again. See you all later.
Bye.